this is continuing on last week's show, that I want to repot my Tandarusa. And let me show you, if you didn't watch that one, so you understand why I want to do this. So I believe that this plant is not doing well because of the compression of the roots. I haven't gotten a new leaf from this plant since last summer, and we are in February right now of 2026. So that's a long time, and these leaves are starting to die off. But if you see here, you see this on the side, that means that's too much water it's taking up. And I think that although these alocasias want water, there's some that just cannot handle it, and this is one of them. So I'm going to go through some pictures to show you where I was before here. But look at the roots on this. I repotted this plant a couple months ago, and we're going to go through that process. So let's do it. Welcome to my channel, everybody. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. And if you're returning, you honor me always. So, my blood sugar's starting to drop, which is not a good thing, so I may have to grab something to eat. I'm going to go through these pictures, and I'm going to put them up on the screen so you can check it out. I gotta find them first, though. I did this a couple times. There's a couple videos where I just took pictures as I did it, but I've not ever done anything with them. So, all right. I think this may be it right here. Okay, so on this was dated, okay, so it hasn't been too long. December 22nd, 2025 is when I did this repot. So as you see here, we've got 2 leaves, and I think, and you can tell there's a big, look how much greener they are there. But what you don't know is how yellow the other leaves were before I got to this state. But if this one leaf that we're going to come to, you see here, over on the side, nice and crispy. That's kind of where we're sitting today, right, with these. And I thought to myself, well, the pot that this was in is probably a, I know it was a lot bigger than this one. Let's see. This size. So, go ahead and pause this here. So you see the difference? That's the difference in pot sizes where we were before this one. So I said to myself, this is too big. This size is too big for an alocasia. Although I had roots that were phenomenal. So, you know, checking this out here. Am I recording? I don't know if I'm even recording. Hold on a second, guys. Yes, I'm recording. So if you, I know we get in through here, I will show the roots on this plant and where it was at. It was pretty excellent shape, but you see here with this leaf, I was just like, what's going on? I just didn't understand why we were here. But look at the roots on this thing. Okay, this is an excellent root system. And it doesn't make sense at all why I'm getting such yellow leaves. It doesn't make sense at all why these leaves and why it's not growing. It just doesn't make sense to me. So we go to the next one. Now here's where I've unpotted it. And look at the roots. I mean, guys, this is phenomenal root system. No drainage did not hurt this plant at all, but I just don't know why. I just don't know why it hates life. And if you go to this, here's another picture of it. You see, I mean, there's no rot whatsoever in this plant. I found none. There she is here, and look at the size of it. That was after I got all the dirt out of it. I mean, it was the healthiest root system. It still is, I think. And then, so that's a little bit more. I know at some point I cut it. Is that, so here's what it was. This looks like maybe a bit shorter. That's definitely shorter. I cut it, the root system. Yeah, so I cut it. Oops. Sorry about that. And then this is where I was trying to figure out, well, what size am I going to do? Am I going to put it back in? Am I going to put it back in? So this pot here is where it came from. This pot is where it went to. You can't see it, but down here below. So you see that? That's what I ended up doing. And now one thing I'm not doing anymore is I was cutting these screens and I was putting them on top of the leca layer, and that could also be causing some problems. I don't know that. We're going to find out, because when I take this out, we're going to see my fear was it was going to get all mangled up with the roots, and I'm really hoping that is not the case, but it probably is. I got the idea from somebody else online, thinking that this would be a good setup, but honestly, I don't think it matters. It's fine if your roots are going to make it down there anyway, so why give it any stress to have to break through this screen? You know what I'm saying? So there's the difference in the sizes. There's quite a big difference, don't you think? One of the reasons I went smaller is because Melissa, who we all know on Plants by Melissa, she's like famous for her alocasias, and she's always said that alocasias like smaller pots. So that is why I went smaller, thinking that this is what it needs. Now maybe it is, and I still believe that this is a compression problem. So that's what we're going to try to solve today, but I'm keeping it in this size vessel. So here's what it looks like as I'm potting it up. And you see here, it's a little bit too heavy. All right, it's a little too heavy. I'm not using perlite at this time. And I think that's another problem that I'm running into, is by not using perlite and replaced it with pumice, it's not getting enough air through the roots. Which is why last week I completely redid my mineral mix and flushed it and did all of that with you guys. So if you haven't seen it, I'll put it in the description below. But yeah, so I think that this is going to be a better setup for. And then this is what it looked like then. So this was December 22nd. And then this is February 21st. No growth, nothing since this. So yeah, so no improvement at all. And I did cut that leaf off. Oh, and here are the 9 corms that came from this plant, which I found amazing. I was like, are you kidding me? Look at all these corms. Now, I'll show you here in a second how they're doing. This is another picture up close. I think that's it. We'll go ahead and turn this off. Oh, okay. Well, let me turn that back on. In this case, I put the leca at the bottom, like I always do, and I put it in this little pot that has a little covering on it so it can stay high moisture. And I'm putting it in stratum. There it is there. So they're all nice and lined up, right? There they are. They're beautiful. And this goes to another video that I haven't done. But so this is what they look like, right? Let me turn this off. My babies down here are having a hard time with this cold. It's so cold. And when these new leaves come out, they just struggle so much. It's heartbreaking, honestly. It really is. So this is what I have my corm set up in. Come around there. So I have it in the same thing that what it was you just saw. I keep the lid closed, and I have cute little pings in here that I was trying to test to see if I could grow them, and they are growing. I don't know if you can see it, but you see those little babies down there? I'm so excited. I finally figured it out. But look at how dark. There's been no growth that I can tell. Well, that's not true. I see roots coming from here. But there's very little growth right now at the moment. It's kind of too close to you. All 9 of these are still here, but I don't know. I don't think that there's anything going to happen with these. I really just don't. You know, it could be dead. I don't know. You know, I don't know how to check that. I think if you squeeze them, but I don't see anything. I might even have them upside down. Who knows? It's hard to tell. But yeah. So I don't know, guys. I don't know if these are going to survive or not. I'm just hoping that I don't want to hurt my pings. I probably could take them out now. And but I'm not sure. But so yeah, that's what's going on with this plant. And if you've been around long enough, you know that I said I'd never buy this plant again. But I did. And she was just a baby at the garden center last summer. And I was so happy because she grew so fast. But I had to water her constantly. But I had her in a drainage situation. And I think it was a mistake putting her in this no drainage vessel, just to be honest. The same thing with my alocasia, my alocasia pink, I forget what it's called, I'll put it on the screen. But I have a video of this little plant that was dying. It looked just like this. And now look at her. So we've got our first new leaf. This is the newest leaf, but look at this. The pink's coming back out. So she's given me life in this little pot, and I just keep her wet. I make sure that she gets watered probably, I think it dries up maybe every 7 days. I don't know, I'm guessing, but it seems like I don't water it very often. And she's happy as it can be. Do I want to switch this one to that? I don't want it, see, I don't want to put it in a draining hole pot. It's really difficult. I don't know. I just don't like the look of it. Even though I don't have to water it that often, I know how much I had to water this one. But yeah, she's going to stay in this situation. This one is not going to go in this one. I'm going to just keep to my gut, because the plant before this one, I mean, it died within a couple of weeks, but I think that there was rot, and I was really new with plants at the time. But I said, I'm never going to buy that plant again, but here it is. I don't think I will buy it. I don't have any intentions on buying it again if this fails. My dogs, they come running in here. I have the blinds closed because of my filming, and they come running in here to want to get up on their little table to look at their friend. And they're like, wait, I can't see out, so I'll just stop right here. Yeah, it's okay, guys. Your friend may be out there, but you don't need to see him. Okay, so what was I going to do? Oh, we're going to repot this. So now, I'm going to do what Jan did. If you haven't seen his video, I'm sure you can find it on his Tandarusa update. But what he ended up doing is just using all moss. I don't like the idea, but I've decided that I'm going to do it as well. He convinced me that that's probably the best way, because he was struggling with this plant just like I've been struggling. And he got really good growth once he got it out of the compaction issue that he was in, trying to use his substrate with it. Now, one thing he did do as well during that video is even the moss was causing issues that he believed was too compact. So his recommendation at the end was, don't wet the moss when replanting this plant. So that is what I'm definitely not going to do. Typically, when I use moss, I would wet it, get it all wet, put it in the moss pole, because that's really the only time I use moss is in the moss pole or my orchids, and then I would, do it that way. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do. This is dirt, so I'm going to go ahead and use this one that we're going to dump her out in. And I'm hoping I can reuse my leca. Oh, look at this, guys. Now it's very wet. I filled her up. I watered her not long ago, just maybe a week. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so let's just talk about this a second. So this is the first time that I've unpotted a plant with that screen in it. Let's look at it. Okay, I don't want to get water all over the place. Oh boy, guys, look. I don't know if you can see it, but It's growing all out of the... I knew this was a bad idea. I just knew it. So let's see. Can I get it out without destroying these roots? The luck is a problem. Let's see. No, well, but I do like that because look, I mean, it didn't... It was a nice clean pull out. I do feel a little bit of pulling. I'm going to pull out some of these. There's no doubt. Can you see? I hope you can. The thing I miss most about my phone recording is how big the monitor is. Or monitor. But the viewing of the phone is. This camera is so small, I can't see what's being recorded very well. Some of these are just going to have to regrow them. I really don't like having to hurt its little secondary roots, but there. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. Let's take this out. Let me see. And then I'm going to put this back in here because we're going to reuse it. Guess I could come sit down, huh? All right. I need my gloves. My hair's all over the place since being outside earlier doing that first video, cleaning the substrate off. That was fun. Not. It's funny what we do for our plants, isn't it? Back in the olden days when my mom, when I was growing up in my house, my mom and my dad, my brother, Mom never did any of this with her plants. I don't remember it at all. I just remember her getting her little watering spigot that she used, and she would water her plants. And she did that, you know, so many years. She had almost 100 plants, if not more, growing up. And I just don't recall her having to go through what we go through here. We talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that a lot when we started getting back into plants together a couple years ago. And she's like, I don't know why things are so different today than they were when you were younger. She's like, I bought whatever potting mix that they had. I refilled the plants when needed. She said, I don't recall having ever any gnat issues. There was no bugs to worry about. There was none of that. She's like, I don't understand why today is so different. And I told her, I said, well, you know, a lot of it could be, this is a strange root situation here. I said, a lot of it could be from us importing so many different plants now. You know, back when I was little, growing up in the 70s, there could have been importing going on then. I have no clue. But I don't know that. But it just seems like, you know, chemicals changed. What you brought into the country changed. And all of that is consequences. When you bring plants like this into the States, it maybe brings the bugs and or whatever with it. And there you have a situation where we have more to deal with, right? This is very interesting to me. Very, very interesting. So what's happened here? That screen prevented the roots to grow freely. And what they've done is they've circled themselves around each other, which is not ideal. Not ideal. They've circled themselves around like in a too small of a pot situation. And so I'm just trying to loosen that up. I want to get rid of as much of this as I can, and then we're going to just grow it in moss. So I don't even know if it's worth trying to save these roots. It's really hard to say, but they're all compacted because of that screen. It's not what I wanted when I made that decision. I don't think I did more than 10 with the screen. But I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. I got tired of cutting that screen out and making a circle. I was like, okay, I'm done. I miss my mom so much. My following knows that she passed in January 22nd, 2026, and it's been really hard for me to move forward. And I haven't really talked about her that much because it's difficult. But I want to be able to talk about her more. I want to be able to share my times with her without crying. But it's really difficult. It's so fresh. But I met with my girlfriend last week for a lunch. And she was with me pretty much all the way through. She was with me all the way through my mom's sickness. And we grew up together. We were best friends growing up. We were inseparable growing up. And I loved her mom, and she loved my mom. And her name also is Sheri. She was short. I am tall. It was so funny. People would call us too tall and too short. We actually had sweatshirts when we were in middle school. Geeks. But yeah, it was really good meeting up with her and being able to talk. Here's another CORM. I don't want it though. I mean, this thing's loaded with CORMs. This thing, I think it concentrates on CORMs than it does its own leaves. I don't understand. Does anybody have anything to give me why this plant wants to just give me CORMs and not leaves? The roots look great. There's no rot whatsoever in this plant. I did a good job last time, I can tell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go rinse this off outside, get as much off as I can. I'm going to cut these leaves, or at least this one that looks really bad. I don't really want either of them, but I could just cut it down to a stump, couldn't I? Is that what I should do? I don't know. But she did great. Did great. So let's go do that. I'm going to go do that and dump this. But yeah, so when we went to lunch, it was very therapeutic for me because I could tell her everything. And talking to somebody who's been through it with her own mom, who passed 2 years ago from cancer, you know, it was just therapeutic, and I felt really good all week. You know, I haven't been devastatingly sad this week, and it's been a good week. All right, I'll be back. Okay. Guys, look at this. Look at the amount of corms. Can you see in here? Look at the corms of this plant. Look at it. It's solid corms. It's no wonder she's not putting any effort into leaves. I mean, look at this thing. Look at the size of this corm. I can't focus it. I'm definitely keeping some of these. This one's a big one. But the roots look great. There's not one thing, nothing or no rot whatsoever that I can see. But these corms are amazing. I'm going to take these off. If I can. Some of them don't want to budge. Look at this thing. Look at the size of these corms. Wow. I mean, it looks like they're actually growing. These corms are growing underneath here. What is going on? This is phenomenal. This should go in the book of world records for a plant. I've not ever seen anything like this before. I mean, it's just loaded with corms. You guys hear me crunching these? I think that's the problem. That's probably the problem and not my mix at all. But I'm still going with the approach of just moss with her. This is actually really cool. I'm really into this right now, guys. Like, this is the coolest thing ever. I've never seen a plant, an alocasia, with this many corms on its stem. And honestly, I think that some of them have roots coming out of them already. Well, you don't want to come off, do you? And this one's rooted, the one I'm trying to pull. Might as well keep them. I'm going to throw out the real little ones, though. Not interested. This little gal is a producer for her own, it's her own detriment. I really want to do my pink alocasia as well, because I know there's corms in there, but I'm afraid that I'll hurt it. This is so weird. The corms are almost like its bottom of its stem layer. I mean, look at this. You see that? There's no top to it. It's just growing. The corm is growing without a top. I'm fascinated. Just fascinated in this plant now. Now you just worry about yourself, okay? I think we've got most of that off the best that I can, at least for now. I'm going to have to do this probably regularly. It'll be easier with the moss, maybe, I don't know. But look at that. We got most of them off. Some I can't get off. It's literally grown into the stem. And I'm not keeping these. I mean, that is just crazy, guys. Crazy. So, now, where'd my towel go? So, I am going to put my moss in. Ooh. This is so messy. I can't stand moss, guys. I just can't. But we do what we do for our plants. I never know which kind is really the best kind to use. I got this at the garden center. Sometimes I'll buy some online, but I just never know what sphagnum moss is really the best. The one that they have for orchids, that say it's for orchids, I don't think that's a really good sphagnum moss. This looks really good to me. This is the long, what do they call it? The long something. Long fibered. That was really fun. I don't know, maybe I will do my pink black velvet, because 2 corms that were growing on the top died off because it wasn't buried underneath the mix. I think I'm going to do it, guys, while we're at it. Why not? So now there's so many roots here. I think I'm gonna wrap them in, I think I'll wrap them in the moss somehow. I don't know if I can. Just maybe do it this way. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that either. Do you think she needs to be in a bigger pot? I wish it was taller. That's what I wish. But that length. I have an idea. I have an idea, guys. I'll be back. Well, that sucked, guys. I have no idea what you saw, what you didn't see. My battery ran out, and I had no idea it ran out. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you saw, I hope you saw me unpacking my black velvet here. But if you didn't, that's what I'm in the middle of. I have no idea what I was talking about. But when I saw that, I looked up and there was no screen, and it was black, and I was like, no. I don't know how long these batteries last, but it's been at least maybe 2 hours. So I've been really trying to be careful on these corms, because there's quite a few in here forming. I just do not want to knock them off. I think that everything in here is perfect, so maybe I'll leave it as is. So let me come up there and show you. Well, I could probably just zoom in. So if you see here, you've got a corm here. You've got a corm growing here. And here. Here. This will become one. And then you've got one here. So this is a very healthy plant. It does not mind this mix at all that I have it in. So the question now I have to ask myself, do I put it back in here? Or make it into a longer, I think I want to put it into a longer vessel. I could just switch this one, where my Tandarusa was. That's awfully big. Let's go look at the narrow. This is what I like for my alocasias. My longilobi is in the same setup. And this is her leaf that she pushed out for me, but I'm not going to say it's cause of that change. The real test of time is if her next leaf that comes out, what it'll look like. But, yeah. I just think that Melissa's onto something there. I just don't think that these plants like a whole heck of a lot of room width-wise, but I think that might be, see how wide hers, I'm afraid to flatten it. It might be too narrow, but I like it. If I could just get a little bit more out, be as gentle as possible. She might be able to get in there. I like the root systems being able to grow down, have free reign, instead of being choked up. I feel like that's just a better situation for the plants. I know I'm getting it messy, but yeah, I think this will be what I want right here. I'm going to actually have her down a little bit farther to keep she keeps that moisture closer to her stump. Because these corms that like to grow awry, then that way they can keep going down. I've seen some people keep corms forever in there, and they say that they grow. I've not experienced that. This may be too little, but I'm going to keep it anyways. Look at the little pink top. Okay, before I lose those, they're all going to go in with the Tandarusas. We'll just make it a happy home in here for everybody. Let's see. I gotta be careful my little pings. I have no idea which way this big honking thing's supposed to go. I don't even think that's you know what, guys? I think it's hollow. I think it's hollow. It's kind of squishy. Really? I mean, I guess I could try, but it feels squishy to me. That's depressing. I guess I could try. I just don't think you should be able, this doesn't look right. Yeah, I just don't think this is a viable. Yeah, that's a shame. Oh, one fell off. One fell off. We'll keep it. I don't know. I think it's too young, but can't hurt to try. All right, so I don't know if that's a good, I feel like maybe that's the better setup. Seems odd though, why I would do that. I mean, other than it's just the stem is, the bottom of this is so fat. I'm going to keep it an S. I might be making the wrong decision, but I don't think that I am. And I really need to do this, I guess, with my alocasias every so often, check for corms. Now the question I have, should I put it in moss? No. Why make a change when that was perfectly happy, right? So we will not use moss for that. We will use my tree fern fiber mix. My modified tree fern fiber. So let me show you what it looks like. Guys, I'm going to save a lot of money doing it this way. And I say that because I had very little tree fern fiber mix left until I added all of that mineral mix to the tree fern. And now I have a whole heck of a lot. It just doubles, quadruples the amount. And because I am not going to use so much tree fern fiber like I was, I think this will be perfect. Breathable, but yet organic. So we'll see how that goes. I am tempted, to be honest, I'm so tempted to just use LECA for everything. I just was watching Kevin's channel this morning, and he's switching pretty much everything to LECA. It'd be so much easier. But I'm like, no, I just don't believe that that's the healthy way to go. I just don't. I just don't. And it's, for me, I already have like 2 gallons of, 3 gallons of individual things in my bathroom that I treat my plants with. I treat it with fertilizer. I treat it with just plain water, like, so the days that I don't, when I water my no drainage that aren't fertilizer day, I have a big container of water with the gnat drops in it. And then I have a gallon of water with the gnat drops and the CalMag iron nutrients that I use, that I started using a few months ago. Okay, now I need to clean this stuff up. I'm really trying to pay attention to batteries. My microphones are all battery, but it looked like I had enough for that. And I'm pretty sure I have a good 2 hours left on the battery life. What I like about this is having it taller, but worries me more because it's narrow. The corms are going to die off in there, but I like it narrow and having it taller so the stem can be down farther for moisture, for more humidity. And if corms do find their way at the top, which I hope they do, it'll be perfect. I see gaps. I just think that my plants are going to like this so much better. I have some anthurium that when I water, it gurgles. The water's trying to find its way down to the bottom. And I'm like, oh, I need to redo these. I need to redo them. But I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to spend all that money on substrate this year. Like last year was unbelievable. So one bag of my tree fern fiber on Amazon is $55. Then you don't pay shipping, but I think you do. I mean, obviously, even though Prime, you really do pay shipping. I don't care. They just cover the costs. Because I've seen cheaper fiber. I've seen so like plants per se, or 9plants, just something online on Amazon. I could find a non-prime candidate to buy or a prime, and the non-prime is $20 less expensive sometimes than the prime, and that tells you, well, that's because this one doesn't have shipping, right? But this does. So you're still paying for the shipping. It's just aggravates me how they try to cover it up. So there she is, guys. Let me know what you think. Did I put her in a too narrow? I mean, we'll find out, but we'll find out. I think this mix is going to be great. All right. I think that's it. I'm going to toss all of this. So I'm going to continue on with the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I apologize I have no idea what you missed. Editing Sheri will know, but that doesn't help present Sheri. So I'm really sorry about that, and hopefully that doesn't happen again, but sometimes accidents like that happen. So if you enjoyed it, give me the thumbs up and hit the subscribe. I really appreciate you. And also, if you are a subscriber of my channel for one day, you can join my community on YouTube, which is down in the description, and post your pictures of your plants. And someday I may be doing a future video with your plant in it. So, bye.